The Roz and Mocha Show. Kiss 92.5.
Special guest in the building right now on the Roz and Mocha Show. We welcome the one and only Kat Von D.
Hi.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Welcome back to Toronto, by the way.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Your new book is Go Big or Go Home, Taking Risks in Life, Love, and Tattooing. Your books are...
How dramatic.
I know. Oh, like you didn't mean that to be dramatic.
I can't help it. I am dramatic.
This is what, your third book now.
Yeah.
The problem that I have with your books is... They're so beautiful.
So you hated that you have to use them for firewood?
They're so beautiful, and the just the layout and the pictures and everything else in your books that I forget to actually read them.
Yeah.
Like that there's words and stories and everything else, because the perfect book has a ton of pictures in it for me, right?
Yeah. This is a good combination of both.
Yeah.
Some of the people that are featured in this book, who are they? Where did you find them? Because just like Roz, the first thing I did as soon as I opened the book was just skim through all the pages and look at the artwork
where's naked
first.
girls? Where are they?
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
right?
Go big or go home. I don't know. The title, obviously, there's a literal translation, obviously, a more metaphor, but it's a collection of large-scale tattoos that I've done over the years. And a lot of them I completed for the book, so they're tattoos that took longer than just one session. Some there's back pieces that took 13 sessions, and obviously the backstories behind it, a little bit of the process behind the tattoos, and then my reflections on the story. So it took me a year to write. Comparatively to the other books, I think it was the most emotionally demanding out of me. So that's why it took me so long. But it's the most emotionally fulfilling. So. Yeah.
How old are you? You're young. I think people assume that you're older than you are. To have 3 books and to have the enough life experience that you have.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
I started tattooing when I was 14 years old.
How old were you when you were way back in the day on Miami Ink? You were a kid, right?
I barely turned 22.
Yeah.
And then you went out to L.A.?
Yeah, well, I lived in L.A. always, and then I would just fly out to do that. Yeah, and then I got my own show in L.A., and then that's when I got sober, and I feel like that's when I really started living, to be honest with you. And then now here I am. I just had my 31st birthday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Happy belated birthday.
Thanks. But I feel like I have an 80-year-old soul.
Well, every time I've said this about you, Free. Every time I interview you, you are so in love
with life.
Every time I see you, you are the most in love you've ever been with the person you're with. I always say I've never met anybody who loves being in love as much as Kat Von D does.
When I love, I love. I think Marlene Dietrich said that.
Right.
Yeah.
And now, when is your wedding? Because you're going to get married to Deadmau5.
Yeah.
When is that happening?
Yeah. Joel and I are getting married in August right now.
In August?
That's the plan. So we've been busy with the wedding planner, but we have such an awesome wedding planner, and together it's just like a collaborative art experience. So it's not going to be traditional.
What that wedding's going to look like?
I know.
It's going to look amazing.
It's going to look awesome.
Yeah. It's going to be like visually and everything about it is just going to be stunning, I think. It's not going to be, I think, what anybody will expect. So we always try not to give away too many secrets because we want to kind of freak out our guests. But there's
freak them out or scare them.
There's cloaks involved.
Yeah.
Right.
No, it'll be really great.
When you think about life experiences and stuff like this, when people have a perception of you, whether it's from reading a book or seeing you on television, what is it like when you have to sort of integrate yourself into somebody else's family? Were there preconceived thoughts about who you were and what kind of woman you were that you...
You know what? Like, I think initially when I first met Joel, I really, there was a part of me that, my relationship prior to Joel, after that ended, I took a year of conscious celibacy, and I just really focused on myself and my work and my art and my family. And so during that year is when I wrote this book, and that's why there's a lot more, it goes a little deeper than the other books, because I had time to do that, I wasn't sidetracked by other things. It was actually a positive time. So when I started dating Joel, there was a part of me that was worried that there might be preconceived notions based on just all the crap tabloids and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's not who I am, and that doesn't define me by any means. If anything, it's a very small percentage of that is true. So, but thankfully, Joel is smart enough to see past that, and it's like, whatever,
Well, he seems like the type of person, he doesn't care about anything that's going on when somebody makes a comment or any of the headlines out there. He's just out there to do his thing.
Yeah, and we connected on such a different level, which I think is a beautiful thing. So it was like literally, hanging out with your best friend.
Right.
and you know, I flew in last night and I went to dinner with my soon-to-be mom-in-law and then Chris and Jen, his brother and stuff, and sister. And it's like, honestly, I feel, how did I get this lucky? You know, it's like, it's too good to be true, you know? Like, we're just hanging out, having so much fun, and like, they're so supportive and stuff, and yeah, it's good.
Do you guys give input into each other's work? Like, would he play a song for you and ask you what you think, or do you show him any of your artwork and get his input on it?
Yeah, I mean, he's not very show-offy, you know, but like
No, he wears a mask for a living.
No, I'm saying it's not like, I don't know, when I get really excited and hyper, I'm like, babe, look at this, and you know what I mean? And he's more, you know, reserved, I guess, but we like constantly create, so even at my house, we don't have television and stuff, so we just
really?
Yeah, so like I taught him how to play like old man, like Neil Young on guitar, and like you know, and then he'll like show me what he does on the computer, which is a little more foreign to me because I'm a piano player and a guitar player, so so yeah, we make music together, you know, so it's not really a whole like, oh, look at me.
Look what I've done.
It's more
By
like,
the way, it's 8:12. Kat Von D is here on the Roz and Mocha Show. Go Big or Go Home is the name of the new book. How many, last count, how many tattoos
do I have?
do you have?
Too many to count.
One, right?
Yeah, one giant one. It's turned into one. Yeah.
What do you get the most requests for? When is it
For tattoos?
Yeah, is it usually based on some sort of emotional story, or is it?
I kind of got a reputation for doing a lot of realism and black and gray and portraits.
Yeah.
So, but I do a lot of other things. I think people, when they see the book, they'll be pleasantly surprised that there's a wide spectrum of styles. You know, I mean, it's tattooing, it's art. You can do anything. So.
Yeah.
What's the wait list like to get?
It's not that long as people assume.
Yeah.
It just takes me a long time because I do everything through email. By the time I get to your email, like you know, then it's like 2 to 3 months. But
the last time I was in LA and I drove by the
ew, why
shop.
did you stop?
No, I drove by the shop.
Why'd you stop by and say hi?
Well, that's the thing. I drove by and they had it was like black filtered paper.
Oh, we were filming
over the windows, and there was like a lineup of people outside.
Yeah, see, we had that at the time when we were filming. When the sun goes down, it would hit right into and mess up our camera, so we would have to put that in there. But it wasn't to keep you out or anything.
What do you think of this? Mocha and I, before we met and started doing this show, I think that we're sort of kindred souls here.
Oh, I love that.
Because I've never met anybody who has their own name tattooed on them, and Mocha and I both.
In case he forgets.
We both have our own names tattooed on us.
Really?
Yeah, and didn't even know
I
it.
love that.
On our own bodies.
Yeah.
Is it weird to get your own name tattooed on your body?
No, you know, I don't know.
Well,
you know, I think a lot of people like, you know what, last time I was here, I had Rooftop with me, and his real name is Mike Escamilla, the Probium Extra guy, and he has like, you know, his last name in Old English tattooed on him, and that's not really, I mean, it's kind of, again, I don't think anything defines you, but it is part of, you know, you. So why not?
When you talk to young girls who, you know, may be that sort of square peg, and they look for somebody who has, you know, sort of pulled through it. What's your advice? What is your rap on?
I'm not good at advice. I just try to, you know.
But you almost have to be, though, being the person you are, though, and on television by example, and famous.
You know?
And
when I see these girls, like, to be honest, I just act like myself, and like they inspire me to say the dumbest thing. I'm like, oh my god, like you're the coolest thing I've ever seen, and it's the truth, you know.
Right.
Like at tonight's signing, like I know I'm gonna meet and hug like all of these girls that to me I see a part of me, not because they're mimicking my style. It's like, I identify with what you're feeling. I could tell that you're approaching things in an artistic way and that you may not feel, you know, the same as everybody else, and I love you for that, you know, and that's makes me feel less alone too.
And you will be signing your book tonight at Chapters. You are a hippie, a total hippie.
I'm sorry.
At John at Richmond at 7 p.m. Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, the new book is called Go Big or Go Home. Kat Von D, thank you so much for joining us on the Roz and Mocha Show.
Thank you.
Anytime you're in Toronto, you have to make sure you stop by this show.
I would love to, man.
The Roz and Mocha Show. Kiss 92.5.